So we are supposed to start at 10.9. And before we start, let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of Sri Radha Govinda ji. Sri Radha Govinda ji ki jai. Okay. So 10.9. Mat chitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss enlightening one another and conversing about me. So here we are talking about the Chatur Shloki of Bhagavad Gita, that is 10.8 to 10.11. In that yesterday's class we discussed 10.8 and today 10.9 we'll see. Okay, so this is like the summary of the Bhagavad Gita. The whole gist of Bhagavad Gita is given in these 4 shlokas. Okay, so mat chitta. So always in my thoughts, mat gata prana. So pure devotees dwell in me. Bodhayanta parasparam means they are discussing. Bodhayanta means preaching. They are talking parasparam among themselves. What they are talking or what they are telling about. Katayantascha man nityam. So they are talking about Katha of Lord Krishna, the glories of Lord Krishna. So what happens when they are discussing about the glories of Lord Krishna? Tushyanticha ramanticha. So they are getting that great satisfaction and bliss. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so here in the shloka are described the symptoms of pure devotee. Okay, so how a pure devotee, like their mind is always on the lotus feet of Krishna. They talk only about transcendental subjects. They're 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna. They take pleasure in discussing topics of Krishna with other devotees. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji, it is clear.
Yeah. So actually it is described by Prabhupada, like initially when we are devotees in the preliminary stage of devotional service, how do we get attached to the Lord? How do we get happiness or bliss? By serving the Lord, right? Initially we are in the service stage. So service, that is the initial stage. And when as we serve and serve, finally, what is the mature stage? We are actually situated in the love of God. So we know that there are 9 stages of bhakti, right? And gradually, one by one, we progress. So initially, first, what is it? See, actually, all these 9 stages of bhakti are described by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. Okay, so what are these 9 stages? First is Shraddha. You should have faith. Minimum is you should have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, next, once you have that faith, next, what is the next step you do? You come into sadhu sangha, you come in association with devotees. And next is to bhajana kriya. What do you do in the association of devotees? You do devotional service. You do a service to the Lord, service to the devotees. You start doing chanting. You start reading Prabhupada books. You start listening to Vaishnavas, hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So all the scriptures, okay, and from bhajana kriya you come to anartha nivritti. So this is the most important stage, and this is the stage where it takes sometimes ages, I mean like years and years to, I mean like anartha nivritti means you want to get rid of all the unwanted, like what you said, the bad that is there in you, like the mada matsarya, anger, the greed, the lust, all these things, Mada Matsarya, Kama, Krodha, Mada Matsarya, all these things, you want them to be removed. And to get these removed, it may take years. Okay, not it just doesn't happen in just a few days or months like that. You never know, not this Janma, maybe Janmas it may take. So this is the longest stage. Once you pass this stage, it is understood that you are steady in bhakti. You will not fall down. Okay, so this is the longest stage, Anartha Nivritti. Okay, so here we were talking, right, in the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish transcendental pleasure from service. So service is where bhajana kriya. So we do service to the Lord. That is third stage. Bhajana kriya is devotional service. So next is anartha nivritti. So we try to remove all our impurities. So once the impurities are removed, then you come to the next stage, that is nishta, steadiness. So now you are steady in your bhakti. So there is no chance for you to fall down. Anybody tells you that Krishna is not the supreme, is not the supreme personality of Godhead, still you have firm faith. No, I know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So everything, even anybody comes and tells anything against Krishna consciousness, you have proof and you are steady. You don't fall down in your bhakti. And then ruchi, after nishta, once you're steady and you go on practicing bhakti, you get a taste. You get a taste in bhakti. Okay, now obviously, once you have a taste, there is no leaving behind, right? See, if you have a taste for eating, can you, I mean, like in a particular restaurant, you find that particular, whatever that dish, very tasty. So you always feel like going again and again, right? So once you develop that ruchi, you don't feel like leaving it. So now, this is the stage, ruchi, you develop that ruchi. So you are not able to leave Krishna consciousness. And then after you get that ruchi, taste, then you go to asakti. So obviously you get to develop an attachment. Once you have a taste, you feel like again going again and again to that same restaurant, right? So that is asakti. Now you, once you get attachment with the taste for for devotional service or attachment to Krishna, so you get attachment, asakti to Krishna. Okay, and then once you get that attachment, then the next stage is bhava. That is preliminary love. This is the initial stage of love. Preliminary, I mean, before love, bhava comes, emotions. And then final stage is prema. So that is what they are talking. In the mature stage, finally these pure devotees, they come to the prema. They are actually situated in love of God. So many stages are there. So initially they start with service, bhajana kriya, and then finally these pure devotees, they come to the stage of prema, love of Godhead. So what does Prabhupada say in the purport? So Lord Chaitanya explains that bhakti, transcendental service, he's explaining, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that transcendental devotional service is like sowing a seed in the heart of a living entity. Okay, so Bhakti Lata Beej, they say, right? So the seed of bhakti is planted in our heart. Okay, so let's see how it progresses. See, there are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them, there are few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get a chance to understand devotional service. See, not all of us are fortunate that we associate with devotees and get in touch with devotional service. The only some fortunate who have pious sukruti or just the mercy of a guru or mercy of the devotees, we get in touch with these devotees and we get a chance to understand devotional service. I mean, we are also lucky by some chance we go somehow associated with devotees and we got a chance to come into bhakti. Okay, so this devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if we go on chanting, like see for example, when we sow a seed, what after sowing the seed in mud and covering it, what do? We pour water, right? So here the seed is bhakti, and we are planting it in the heart. And what is that watering? The watering is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so you are watering it with this Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, just as you know, water normally the seed of a tree with water, you are watering the Bhakti Lata Beej in your heart with the Hare Krishna mantra. But then what happens? Obviously, from the seed, a small plant comes out, right? Okay, like that, the spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe. So, this plant slowly grows by the watering of the Hare Krishna mantra. It crosses beyond the material coverings. See, this material cosmic manifestation, it has different layers. Okay, earth, one layer is earth, then outer covering earth, water, air, ether, fire, all. Each layer is 10 times thicker than the next layer. Okay, like that, the material universe is covered with 8 layers like that. Okay, so this plant, it dashes, it breaks through all these layers, it crosses all these layers and comes out. See, all the material layers it crosses, and it comes out, and it enters into Brahma Jyoti in the spiritual sky. So it crosses the material realm, and it enters into Brahma Jyoti. So that spiritual lighting will be there, right? Bodily effulgence of Lord, that is Brahma Jyoti. So finally it enters there into that Brahma Jyoti. And what happens afterwards in that spiritual sky? That plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan. So it passes through that light also. Okay, the spiritual plant passes through that light, spiritual light, Brahma Jyoti, and then it enters into the planet Goloka Vrindavan. And ultimately, where does this plant take shelter? It takes shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. So the plant finally crosses the material realm, it enters into the Brahma Jyoti, and then to Goloka Vrindavan. In Goloka Vrindavan, it takes shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and it rests there. Then what happens? It doesn't stop there. And then that plant grows further, and fruits and flowers come. Okay, fruits. And you should not think I have come to Krishna, now I will stop my chanting. No, this chanting will go on forever. If you see Radha Rani, she's always chanting Krishna's names. The gopis, Radharani, or Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, the cowherd boys, they're always chanting the names of Krishna. So you should not think that, oh, now I've come to the shelter of Krishna, so everything over, now chanting is over, now nothing, I will not chant. No, that's what they're saying here. Okay, even though you have taken shelter of the food, that is not the end. See, gradually, now what happens as the plant grows? It gives what? Fruits and flowers. Like that, the plant of devotional service also it gives fruits. And what is the watering process? Chanting and hearing should go on. Only then it will give fruits. Okay. So what is this fruit that we get? Okay, just not taking shelter at the feet. The plant just takes shelter. But even after it reaches the shelter of Krishna, lotus feet of Krishna, we still keep watering with the mantra, Hare Krishna mantra and the hearing. Okay, then it produces fruits. What is that fruit? One becomes fully absorbed in love of God. So that is the mature stage of a pure devotee. He gets absorbed in love of God. He reaches the final stage, that is love of God. So what happens in that stage? He cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord. Okay, just as a fish cannot live without water, like that, the pure devotee, he cannot live without a moment, without being in contact with the Supreme Lord. Okay, so at this stage, then the devotee attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. So he also gets all the spiritual qualities that the Lord has when he comes in contact with the Supreme Lord. Okay, so this is what is said in 10.9. Okay. Okay, so the same thing is said here. Okay, thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. their life is fully devoted to my service, they derive great satisfaction and bliss, always conversing about me. Okay, what are the symptoms of pure devotee? Krishna becomes his life and soul, and he constantly hears and discusses about Krishna. And we discussed, right, two stages of devotional service. Preliminary stage, what? They relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. Okay, then what is the mature stage? They reach the love of Godhead. Okay, and in which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. Okay, that is the thing. So next we'll see 10.10. तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give them the understanding by which they come to me. So, see, it's such a beautiful verse. If you know the meaning of this verse, see, to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Okay, so Krishna is saying Buddhi Yogam. I give them the buddhi, I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me. So this Buddhi Yoga we learned in second chapter. If you remember, the Buddhi Yoga is what Nishkama Karma Yoga, right? Where you act for Krishna without expecting anything in return. So you try to satisfy Krishna. So here again, Prabhupada explains in the purport. So Buddhi Yoga is nothing but action in Krishna consciousness. So that is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means what? Intelligence. And yoga means linking to the supreme. Okay. So what is Buddhi Yoga? So suppose if you are when one tries to go back to Godhead, then he takes Krishna consciousness very seriously. Okay, he gets involved in devotional service. He is like totally dedicated to Krishna. He has no other motive. He just wants to satisfy Krishna. And then when he does devotional service like that, at the end, he will go back to Godhead. So that is Buddhi Yoga. So he uses all his intelligence in the service of the Lord. Okay, so in other words, what does Buddhi Yoga mean? It is the process by which one gets out of entanglement of this material world. Okay, so the only way where how we, the way we can come out of this material world or we can get liberated is by this Buddhi Yoga. That is by practicing Krishna consciousness. Okay, always thinking of Krishna, performing devotional service to Krishna. So that. So our ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. So many people don't know this. Okay, what they think the goal of life, the material people, they think the goal of life is at earning more and more money and keep this body more comfortable. That's what they think is the goal of life. So for that, they do ugra karma. They work like donkeys, asses they work, and hardly they eat. I mean, they're not able to eat properly, also, not able to sleep properly, also. So, what is the use of I mean, earning so much money when you're not able to sleep properly, eat properly? Okay, so that's a so they behave like animals. I mean, even animals, they don't work so hard, but they're called less than animals, in fact. Okay, so people do not know the goal, that the ultimate goal is in this human form of life is somehow we have to go back to Krishna. So our Swarupa is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Nityera Krishna Das. Okay, so we have to serve the Lord. We are like servants of the Lord. We are actually created to serve the Lord. So people do not know this. So how do they get to know this? Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. See, only when we come in the association of devotees do we get to hear about Krishna. And when we come in contact with a guru, bona fide spiritual master, not any other guru, a bona fide who is in that guru parampara, that kind of guru. Okay, so bona fide spiritual master. So we should approach them. So then we will know. They will impart to us the knowledge. What is the actual goal of life? Okay, so one should know that the goal is Krishna. And when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. See, when you know the goal, it is not that all of a sudden you will know Krishna, you will become so much Krishna consciousness that in one day you'll go back to Godhead. No. So slowly by slowly, first you start your sadhana bhakti, right? So you first initially chant one round, then slowly increase to 4 to 8 to 12 to 16, and then you start serving, associating with devotees. You start doing devotional service. So like that, gradually, and we've seen the 9 stages of bhakti, right? So like that, gradually practicing, we'll come to that highest stage, love of Godhead. Okay, so when a person, like the Prabhupada says in the purport, how bhakti, I mean, like buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga is the highest ultimate. See, when a person knows the goal of life, but still he is addicted to the fruits of activities, that person is acting in karma yoga. Karma means he's always attached to the fruits of his activities. Okay, so but still, he knows the goal of life is okay to go back to Krishna, but still he is attached to fruits of activities. So then he's said to be acting in karma yoga. And but if a person knows the goal of Krishna is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, so then he's acting in Gnana yoga. So we know that a Gnana yogi, he's more addicted to Gnana. He studies all the Vedas, and he wants to understand God through the Vedas by himself, right? So he speculates, oh, it could be like this, it could be like this. So that way they try to understand. Okay, and they go into the maximum they can reach is to impersonal Brahman. Okay, so that person is acting in Gnana Yoga. And Prabhupada finally says, what is the highest and best? And when he knows the goal is Krishna, and completely he's into Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. That is the complete yoga. So this complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life, not Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. So the highest is you do without any expectation. You do for the satisfaction of Krishna without any expectation of results. That is the highest yoga, highest perfectional stage of life. Without any expectations, just to satisfy Krishna. Okay, so a person may see now in this shloka what exactly is Krishna trying to say. We'll understand. See this. See, a person, please understand this statement properly. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. Okay, so he may be in some institution, okay, some organization where the spiritual organization, and he took Diksha under a bona fide spiritual master. But if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, see, even then he has taken Diksha, he is in that good, nice spiritual organization. See, he is not able to progress. Then what? What happens is, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. Okay, so even though he has accepted, he is in a spiritual organization, he has taken Diksha from spiritual master, but still somehow he is not intelligent enough, he is not able to progress in bhakti. Then what does Krishna do? So Krishna from within, he gives instructions to him so that he can ultimately come to him without difficulty. But what is the qualification for Krishna to give him that instructions? What do we have to do for that? Okay, it's just not like that Krishna will come and give you instructions and he will finally take you back to Godhead. No, there is you have to, there is a prerequisite for that, for Krishna to come to you and give those instructions. So what is that qualification? The qualification is that the person should always engage himself in Krishna consciousness. How? With love and devotion. So he should render all kinds of services to Krishna with love and devotion. So somehow or the other, he has to be attached to Krishna consciousness, and he has to serve the Lord with, he has to do all the services of to the Lord with love and devotion. See, he should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. So if a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain him. Okay, so you got it so wonderful, right? We don't have to do anything. It's so easy. Okay, even though we don't have any qualification, any spiritual knowledge, nothing. What is Krishna saying? Somehow you just engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. That too, how you do all the services in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion. That is enough. I will give you the realization how you can come back to me. Okay, so what do we have to do from now on? Somehow or the other, we have to be engaged in Krishna consciousness. So we have to do all the services with love and devotion to the Lord. Then God will see to it that He gives you that knowledge, or somehow whatever is required, that intelligence He gives you so that you can come back to Him. Okay, so He gives you that guidance, instructions, okay, for you to progress in your bhakti. See how wonderful, such a simple process. He is not asking you to jump from the mountain or do all these weird exercises like hatha yoga and all those ashtanga yoga, nothing. He's telling just simple, you just do devotional service, that too with love and devotion. That's all. I will give you the intelligence how you can come back to me. Okay, this is 10.10. So this is the same thing, karma yoga, gnana yoga, and highest is buddhi yoga. That is all, again, same thing is set here, karma yoga, buddhi yoga. So now 10.11. Tesham evanukampartham aham agnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto gnana deepena bhasvata. So out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. See, out of compassion for them, what is Krishna saying? What does he do in continuation to the previous sloka? I, dwelling in their hearts. So we know that Krishna is residing as super soul in all the hearts, right? So what does he do being there? He destroys what? The darkness born of ignorance. See, we initially, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we didn't know that we were soul, or we are different from the body and everything. We didn't know all that. But somehow, by the mercy of the devotees, somehow we came to in touch with all the association of the devotees, and that ignorance is gone. That now we know that we are not this body, we are the soul. We are born, we are created to serve the Lord. So we have come to know that. So how did it happen? It is because of Krishna. See, out of compassion for them, see, I, dwelling in their hearts as super soul, destroy what? The darkness born of ignorance. How? With the shining lamp of knowledge. So Krishna gives us that lamp of knowledge, shining lamp of knowledge, because of which the darkness born of ignorance is gone. Okay. So now let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. Okay, so actually, when Lord Chaitanya, he was in Banaras and he was chanting. Banaras, Varanasi, it's a place of impersonalism where personality of Godhead is not at all given importance. They worship the impersonal form of the Lord. So when Lord Chaitanya, he was in Benares, he was chanting the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, thousands of people were following him. Okay, but there was a famous scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati. Like, he had many followers at that time. All were like impersonalists. So he was very famous, a big scholar over there, a very influential and learned scholar in Banaras at that time. What did he say? Lord Chaitanya, he says that Lord Chaitanya, you're a sentimentalist. Okay, what does sentimentalist mean? Sometimes these Mayavadi philosophers, they criticize devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance. They think they're ignorant, they don't know what they're doing, and are philosophically knave sentimentalists. So, what does this sentence mean? Darkness of ignorance. and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. So what do these Mayavadis think? Actually, we'll talk about Prabodhana Saraswati. So he was so well versed. These people, these impersonalists, we know, they are jnanis. They are so much, they read the Vedas and these Upanishads and all those. Okay, other than that, they don't read all these Puranas and everything. Only they read Vedas and Upanishads. Okay, so these people, they are so well versed in all these Vedanta and all these dry philosophical, they speculate, right? They are impersonalists or dry philosophical reasoning, and because of which they gain so much of knowledge. And when they see Mahaprabhu, he was chanting, right? He was crying, he was dancing, he was longing for Krishna. So he saw all these expressions. He was wondering, what is he gone mad? Why is he crying? What is he doing? He's dancing and all these things. He is suppose he's a sannyasi. He is supposed to sit and learn the Vedas, the mantras he's supposed to learn. What is he doing around the road? He's dancing like a mad person. He's crying. He's longing for Krishna because they don't think Krishna, the worship God is personal, right? So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying for Krishna, right? He was attached to Krishna, the personal form. So he is thinking, he thought Prabodhananda Saraswati, it's Prakashananda Saraswati. He says that emotions like love, separation, ecstatic behavior are not supported by philosophical inquiry. So these jnanis, they're very dry. They don't have all these emotions. They are just very, they are like what you say, they speculate. They are more on bent on knowledge. Okay, they don't have all these emotions and all these. They think this being they're sentimentalist if you have all these emotions. Okay, so they just base their knowledge on like all this knowledge. He valued only knowledge, and he goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, what is all this dancing and crying? What are you doing? Have you gone mad? What is all this sentimentalism? You should be nicely sitting. You're a nice brahmachari. You should be nicely chanting. Reading all the Vedas. Okay, so this Prakashananda Saraswati, he valued knowledge and reasoning. So they speculate, right? They don't believe, so this, it could be like this, like that, like that. But he didn't recognize bhakti as the highest form of wisdom. Okay, so these Mayavadi philosophers, they just give importance to knowledge. So they don't give importance to all these emotions like love, separation, ecstatic behavior, and all that. So when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu crying and dancing, he was saying that you're wasting your time. You're not reading the Vedas. You are so much in ignorance. You're in darkness. You're all sentimentalists. That's what he was telling. Okay. But Prabhupada says actually that is not the fact. The devotees, they are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. Okay. But even, see, now we'll come to the point again. See, even if a devotee does not take advantage of the literatures given by the spiritual master, okay, so even if he doesn't read, okay, but if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So earlier shloka also we saw, right? No matter what, if you are sincere in your Krishna consciousness, in practicing, in doing devotional service with love and devotion, what may come, Krishna will help you progress in bhakti. It's not necessary that, oh, you have to sit and read all the knowledge and everything. If possible, we should read. But in case, even after reading, you're not able to understand, okay, it doesn't matter. Krishna is saying, if he's sincere in devotional service and he serves the Lord, he does all kinds of service with the love and devotion, then he is helped by Krishna himself who is within his heart. What does he do? So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness, obviously he cannot be without knowledge. See, the only qualification he needs is, oh Krishna, 5% battery. Okay, but even if a devotee does not take advantage of the literatures of the spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within the heart. So, the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness within his heart. Okay. The sincere devotee who is engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that, see, he will get that desired knowledge what is the qualification? When he carries out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. See, what do the Mayavadi philosophers think? That the first step they think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. Discriminating means what? First, what they think the Mayavadi philosophers, they think you should first distinguish between soul and body. First, you should know that concept that you are soul, you are not this body. Then only you can have pure knowledge, they think. See, but from this answer that is given by Krishna, what is Krishna saying? See, you don't need to have any knowledge. You don't need to know that your body or soul or anything. Blindly, some people, they just worship Krishna, right? So just see that Krishna is saying, those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education, nothing they have, no education, nothing. Okay, nothing is required. But these Mayavadi philosophers, they say that you need to at least have the basic knowledge that you are the soul and you're not the body, you're the soul. Then only you can have pure knowledge. But here Krishna is saying, see, nothing is required, not even education. Okay, and not even sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles. Even then, those people are still helped by the Supreme God, as stated in this verse. Only the qualification you need is just serve the Lord with love and devotion. Be always in Krishna consciousness. Okay, what is being Krishna in Krishna consciousness means? Chant the names or holy names of the Lord, read Prabhupada books, hear from Vaishnavas, and do service to the Lord and devotees. That's it. All the knowledge that is required for you to progress, somehow, the whole day you be engaged in Krishna consciousness. Okay, it's not necessary that you physically have to be. Now I told you, right, you are working, so your job is also, you are in Krishna consciousness, because when you are working, if doing a job, you can give part of the income, how much ever is comfortable for you, every month you can give. So that is also Krishna consciousness. At home, like if you're a lady, you can cook for the Lord, and then offer it as bhoga, naivedya, and then have it as prasadam. So that is also being in Krishna consciousness, right? So everything, like whatever you do, try to make it Krishna conscious. Then Krishna will give you the intelligence. It's not necessary you physically have to. You have to read. I mean, like it's best to read and understand Krishna consciousness. But worst case, even though you're reading, you're trying to hear from the Vaishnavas, but still you're not able to understand. No problem. Still continue your devotional service in Krishna consciousness with full devotion, love to the Lord. Then Krishna will give you that intelligence. He's what Krishna is saying. He removes that ignorance that is there. Okay, even though you don't understand it when you read physically, somehow Krishna, when you do the devotional service, he will remove that darkness, ignorance that is there in you with the shining lamp of knowledge. He will give you that knowledge, intelligence. Okay, how you can come back to Krishna. Okay, so Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understand. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna what scene. There is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or achieving him simply by making a mental effort. Okay, so now that is what Krishna is saying. See, you cannot understand Krishna by your mental efforts. Like how a gnani, he doesn't even take help of a guru, a bona fide spiritual guru. He tries to understand by himself. And then he does all this mental speculation. Oh, it could be like this, it could be like that. By his own whimsical things, he'll be with his own he already we know that he's a living being, and living being, he has imperfections, right? Imperfect senses, everything. He has a propensity to cheat and all those qualities he has. So what with those imperfections, how can he understand the Lord? So that is what Krishna is saying. See, you cannot try to understand the supreme personality of God just by making some mental speculation or mental effort. You can never understand God like that. Okay, so you can go on speculating for several millions of years, and but if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna. See what Krishna is saying, by your own efforts, no way, you can't understand. How can you understand? Only if you are devoted, and if you're a lover of God, then you will understand Krishna. You will understand the supreme truth. So only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased. Okay, then Krishna, through his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. Okay, so only see the simple thing is what we have to understand is whether we have knowledge or no knowledge, whether we have education or something, whether we are scholarly, nothing. Simply our thing should be somehow or the other 24 hours. I mean, excluding sleep, I mean, because we are not that great pure devotees that even in sleep we can remember Krishna. So, excluding that, if we are 24 hours in Krishna consciousness, or we dovetail our material activities in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest achievement of perfection. Because when we are trying to be Krishna conscious throughout the day, Krishna gives us the intelligence, he gives us that knowledge by which we can come out of that ignorance and we can come back to him. Okay, that devotional service also should be done with love and devotion. Okay, so this is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Okay, so we should understand this. Okay, so and other thing what Prabhupada says in the purport is due to the contamination of material association through many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. See, we have passed through 84 lakhs of janmas and then we've got this material form. So all these janmas we have associated with material people only, right? Okay, so we are so much in Maya. Okay, so we are covered with all these sense gratification, lust, and everything. So with the dust of materialism, we are covered. But when one engages in devotional service, okay, okay. So, but one, okay. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust clearly, it quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. So this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, Mahamantra is so powerful. You know, it removes all our impurities very fast. So when that's why Prabhupada says 99% of our spiritual progress is based on chanting. How purely we chant, how without offenses we chant. Okay, so if you know that, how do you know that you're not committing offenses? See, if you are getting that taste for chanting, it means you are not doing offenses. If you are not getting that taste, somewhere, there is some fault which is affecting your chanting. Okay, either you're materially attached to sense objects, which is hindering your chanting, or you are committing offenses to devotees. So, because of which you are not able to chant. So that's why we should, ponder over these things. So the main thing is Kali Yuga. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also he didn't come with any other weapon. He came with the weapon of Sankirtana Yagna. Okay, chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, it is so important. So that is why we request all of you. I mean, like initially also when many people neophytes come to Krishna consciousness, we don't tell them you give up your drinking coffee tea, you give up onion garlic, you give up eating non-veg. We don't tell them anything like that. What we simply say is, please start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. That's all. Automatically, when you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you start becoming pure, your impurities start reducing, and automatically you start giving up by yourself. Okay? So it naturally happens. Okay? So by chanting Hare Krishna, so the dust, the impurities quickly clear off, and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. Okay, so we come to that pure knowledge. Actually, we have that love of Krishna within our heart, but it is dormant. So when we chant, what happens? It rises, it awakens. That love for Krishna slowly awakens. Okay, that is why we have to go on chanting till the end of our life. It's not that, oh, I've become a pure devotee now, I won't chant enough, I've reached Godhead. No, nothing like that. Chanting goes on even after you get liberated and go back to the spiritual world. Even there, till date, Radharani and the devotees, all the devotees there are chanting Krishna's names. It is eternal. You keep on chanting forever. We practice here so that we can continue there. This is like what intern here we are like here in this material world also, before we become perfect, we work under somebody, right? Doctors or lawyers, everybody, they work as intern. Okay, they work as intern for some years, and then once they gain that experience, then they put their own practice, or they whatever. Okay, like that. So here it's like an intern for us. We are practicing Krishna consciousness so that we can do it more perfectly in the spiritual world. Okay. So the ultimate goal Vishnu can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service. So you just do chanting and you do devotional service. That's it. You can attain Vishnu. Okay, but not by mental speculation or argument. Okay, if you try to understand Krishna by your mental efforts, it is never possible. So it is only possible by chanting and doing devotional service with love and devotion. Okay, if you do that, then what happens? The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. Okay, why? He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, see, when by chanting, that person, that devotee, is removing the darkness from his heart, right? Okay, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord. And what happens when the darkness goes? Krishna is giving what? The shining lamp of knowledge, right? He's automatically what he's giving that knowledge, he's removing that darkness. So, what Krishna is giving? He's giving the shining lamp of knowledge. Okay, when Krishna is pleased by he gives the shining lamp of knowledge when Krishna is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. Okay, so this we should understand. So Prabhupada is saying this is the essence of teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So by studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. Okay, so by actually what is Bhagavad Gita mainly in the second chapter? It talks about soul. So until all these days before we came in touch with the Bhagavad Gita, what were we thinking? We were a body, and we gave all the necessities and comforts for this body. But when we started reading the Bhagavad Gita in the association of devotees, we came to know that we are soul. And what is the Swarupa of the soul? It is to surrender to the Supreme Lord and engage in his pure devotional service. Okay, then what happens when we engage in pure devotional service? The Lord takes charge. So what happens? We become free from all kinds of material endeavors. Okay, so when the Lord takes charge, what happens? We become free from all these material attachments. Okay, so that is what is being said in this shloka. Okay, 10.11. Don't of the Lord, what the Lord does? Lord destroys all the impediment, dispels any ignorance in the heart with the shining lamp of knowledge. How? So all we have to do is simply perform devotional service, chant Hare Krishna, and do all the services to the Lord with love and devotion. Whatever knowledge is required, Krishna, whatever intelligence is required, Krishna will give it to us. And he destroys all the darkness or ignorance that is present in us. How? With the shining lamp of knowledge. He gives that knowledge that is required so that we can come back to him. Okay. So now 10.12 to 18. So Arjuna accepts Krishna's position and requests to hear more of his opulences. So we see now Arjuna accepts Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay. And he requests Krishna to show more of his opulences. Okay, so now let's see. See, Arjuna refers to previous authorities, thus confirms Krishna. He says about previous acharyas that we'll see in the further shlokas. And he, because of them, he says you are the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, also by his own realization. Also, Arjuna understands that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Then what he does, prays to Krishna to hear more of his glories so that he can always think of him and remember him. So how he wants to hear more of his glories about his opulences, through his opulences. So he is asking Krishna, please tell me more about your opulences, so that through them I can remember you. Okay, otherwise Krishna will remain unknowable, because many people who are not on the spiritual background, who don't want to take Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, they can visualize Krishna, or they can appreciate Krishna through the material elements. So through all the opulence, through all the material objects, they can what do you say? Think of Krishna indirectly through all these material nature elements. Okay, let's see how more clearly. Okay, we'll understand. Okay, 10.12, 13. So what is now? See, Arjuna is praising Krishna. Now he comes to the understanding that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So what is he saying? Let's see. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dama pavitram paramam purusham shashvatam divyam adi devam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishaya sarve devarshir naradastata asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva pravishime. So Arjuna, what is Arjuna calling Krishna as? Param Brahma. So you are the supreme Brahman. Okay, Param Dhama, the supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavan. Pavitram, so you are the purifier. Paramam, you are the highest. Paramam Bhavan, so you are the highest truth, so absolute truth. Purusham, you are the person. So you are the eternal divine person. Okay. Shashvatam, you are eternal. Divyam means transcendental. Adi Devam means you are the original, what do you say, original person. The starting, Adi Devam, the first person. Ajam means he's unborn. Vibhum means he's the greatest. Ahus Tvam Rishaya Sarve. What are all the rishis saying? All survey rishis, what are they saying? Who are those rishis? Devarshir, Narada, Tata, Asito, Devala. So all the great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa are saying this. What about Arjuna said? All these, they are also saying that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. And now, even all these previous verses, we saw that Krishna was also telling. So Arjuna is telling, now you also told Krishna that you are also supreme personality of Godhead. So that is what Krishna is trying to say. So Arjuna is accepting now that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So now here we should not think that since Krishna is the friend of, Arjuna is the friend of Krishna, that is why he is praising Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, it is not because of that. See, it's not just Arjuna that is saying that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to the Vedas also, it is described that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is why Arjuna is also saying, all these sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, they are also saying that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Krishna himself is also saying that. Okay. So there lies the proof. And not that because Arjuna is a friend, he's trying to just praise Krishna by saying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not think that way, okay? So that is the thing here. See now, here. What does it, Arjuna say? Param Brahma. So you are the highest truth, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param Dhamma. So your abode is the Param, highest, Goloka Vrindavan. Pavitram. So you are the purest. You are not contaminated by material contamination. So he's untouched by the gunas, right? Three gunas. He is like Nirguna. So he's pure. He's in Shuddha Sattva. And Paramam Bhavan. Paramam means highest Bhavan. He is the absolute truth. Okay, nothing more than him or equal to him. He is Purusham. So you are a person. So Purusham means Krishna is not light or some energy. He is Purusha. He is a person. He is the supreme enjoyer. And he is Shashvatam. He is eternal. Okay, he was there even before the creation. He is eternal. So Divyam, he is transcendental. His body is Sachidananda. He is transcendental. Divyam. Adi Devam. He is the original Lord. So he is the first person, even before even the creation. That is why he is called Prapitamaha. He gave birth to Brahma, who is Pitamaha. Okay, Ajam, he's unborn. Though he appears in this material world, it looks like, but he is the same unborn. He comes in his transcendental body. He's unborn. See, if he is born, he will, when he leaves his body, he has to change and accept a new body. And when they accept a new body, they forget everything about the past. But Krishna, when he took birth in the, when he appeared in this material world, he could remember that he gave this knowledge to Sun God many millions of years ago. How did he remember? Because he's not a material person like us. He is not born like us. Because he has a transcendental body, Divyam. Okay, so he is unborn. Though he appears to be born in this material world, he is unborn. He comes with the same spiritual body. Okay? Vibhum, he is the greatest. So he is the cause of all causes. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the in charge of all the supreme spiritual and material worlds. And nothing is independent of him. Like everybody is dependent, living entities, the demigods, the cosmic manifestation, everything is dependent on him. Okay? And he's accepted by all the acharyas. So now we have proof, right? He's the he's the supreme personality of Godhead by Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa. And now even Arjuna is telling you yourself, Krishna, are telling, declaring it to me. So now Arjuna is telling, I totally accept as truth all this that you are Krishna, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. See, neither the demigods or demons can understand your personality. See, even the demigods and demons, anyway, they cannot understand. Even the demigods. See, some demigods, they understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and they worship him in his personal form. But there are few demigods who think that Krishna is impersonal. Okay, so that's what Prabhupada says. Not all the demigods know Krishna is personal. There are some demigods who know that Krishna, who take Krishna as impersonal. So Prabhupada is saying that even the demigods don't know Krishna is personal. So what about us? What about the scholars? Okay, like that. Okay. So now let's go to the next shloka. 10.14. Sarvam etadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidurhi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva natanavaha. Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all you have told me. Neither the gods nor demons, O Lord, know thy personality. So now Krishna I mean, like Arjuna is telling Krishna, see, I totally understand that you are the, by Krishna's mercy, Arjuna is now able to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And what is Arjuna telling? But by your mercy, Krishna, I am somehow able to understand. But the gods and the demons, they still don't know your personalities. Okay, so what we'll see in 1 second. What does Prabhupada say in his purport? Okay, Arjuna herein confirms that persons of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. Okay, so those who are faithless, see, there'll be many people in Krishna consciousness who do service to the Lord, but they don't accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So they cannot understand Krishna. For them, it is like any God is God, the supreme personality of Godhead. They come and they do seva, that's all. But they don't have faith that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay. So Arjuna says here that persons of faithless and demonic nature, they cannot understand Krishna. So he is not even known by the demigods. So what to speak of scholars of the modern world? See, the demigods who are themselves are not able to understand, what will the scholars of this modern age world understand? So by the grace of the Supreme Lord, now Arjuna has understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so Arjuna could understand by Krishna's mercy. Okay, so what we should do is like we should therefore follow the path of Arjuna, like how Krishna accepted and understood Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should also understand in the same way that Krishna is the, through Arjuna, how we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna and understand Krishna through Arjuna. Okay, so we should understand the Bhagavad Gita in that parampara system of disciplic succession. Okay, then only we can understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so that is 14. So now let's see 15. 10.15. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. Okay, the Supreme Lord Krishna can be known by persons who are in a relationship with him through the discharge of devotional service, like Arjuna and his followers. Okay, so who can know Krishna? Basically, it's not people who are not devotees. They do not know who Krishna is. For them, Krishna is like a politician, or like he's a king, or he's a warrior, like that. They think he's like a more normal person, like maybe some with some special qualities, but they never consider Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead. But who can understand Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead is only devotees. Devotees, they develop a relationship with God by performing devotional service. See, like how do we perform that bond with our children? See, when initially we are not born with our children, right? So, right from childhood, when they're born, we do service to them. Doing service, we develop that bond. When we develop that relationship, I mean, like, even though they are not there, we remember them. Like, for instance, like your child is going to kindergarten now. She has gone to school. And now, after going to school, you are cleaning the house and everything. Then you come to the shoe rack and then you see the small shoes of her. And then you remember her. Right, even though she's not there in front of you, seeing the shoes, you remember her. You remember something. Oh, these shoes I got for her on her birthday. They look so pretty on her, and then you remember her somehow. Right, like that. When we develop a relationship with God, so God is always there. So He's not present in front of us. We remember the Lord, like how a mother remembers the child by just seeing the shoes. Right, they are that. How does that come? By developing that relationship. When we do service, that bonding up, that remembrance increases, that attachment increases. Initially it is not there, but as we serve, we develop that attachment. Automatically that remembrance comes. So that is why they are saying we should do devotional service. Only when we serve, we get that attachment to the Lord. Okay, so persons of demonic or atheistic mentality cannot know Krishna. Okay, so normal people or demons or atheists, they cannot understand Krishna. They think he's a materialistic man, he's a normal human being. He's like laughing, eating, sleeping, doing all normal activities. Like they think he's a normal king, like that. Okay, so mental speculation that leads one. See, if you do mental speculation, what happens? If you try to just with your knowledge, if you speculate that God is like this, God is like that, what happens? It leads one away from the Supreme Lord, takes us away from Supreme Lord, which is a serious sin. And one who does not know Krishna, what is Krishna saying? So, and if you don't know about Krishna, so who knows about Krishna? Only who is a devotee. But if you are not a devotee, what is Krishna saying? Do not comment on the Bhagavad Gita. Do not write any commentary on the Bhagavad Gita if you are not a devotee. Okay, because he will take Krishna as an ordinary being. What is the use of taking, reading Bhagavad Gita if he's a normal person? So they are doing mental speculation. They're giving the wrong reasoning. Okay, there is no difference if Krishna is a normal person. What is the big difference? No reading the instructions of a normal person. So they don't know that. So when such people write such books, they consider Krishna as a normal person, and reading such books is of no use. So Krishna should be understood through devotees, and if the devotees are writing the books, through them we should understand Krishna. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita is the statement of Krishna, and since it is the science of Krishna, see, it should be understood from Krishna as Arjuna understood it. Okay, so how a devotee understands Krishna, that is the proper way of understanding, not how a gnani or a mental speculator understands. Okay, so we should understand Krishna how Arjuna understood it. Okay, so it should not be received from the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, should never be received from atheists or mental speculators or who are non devotees. We should not receive the knowledge. Okay, and Prabhupada says in the purport, the supreme truth is realized in three aspects. We know, right? Earlier we discussed. First stage is impersonal Brahman, the Brahmajyoti. And second stage is, so impersonal Brahman, the Gnanis. Okay. And localist Paramatma are these Dhyana yogis. We've seen all these, right? Dhyana yoga, all that, how they perform Dhyana yoga and all that. So they meditate on localized Paramatma. And what is the last stage? The pure devotees, they worship the personality of Godhead, supreme personality of Godhead, who's a person. So, at the last stage of understanding the absolute truth, one comes to the supreme personality of Godhead. But finally, one day, all of them have to come to this stage. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Oh, we may be in the impersonal Brahman. Later, we'll have that realization that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. They will come to that stage. Okay, so now a common man or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma may not understand God's personality. Okay, so now like a common man, like who's going on the road, or even a liberated man, they can go maximum up to the stage of impersonal Brahman or Paramatma within their heart, but they cannot understand about God's personality. Is such men, therefore, sometimes, but still, such people, they may try to understand the supreme purposes from the verses of the Bhagavad Gita, which are spoken by this person Krishna. Okay, so even though they don't believe in the personality of Godhead, that Krishna is a person, but still they try to understand Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. How? By reading the Bhagavad Gita, which is given by whom? Krishna, right? Who's a person. Okay, so sometimes the impersonals, there are chances they can accept Krishna as Bhagavan, but not all. Okay, some impersonalists can accept Krishna as Bhagavan, but yet many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama. Not all can understand Krishna as Purushottama. Purusha Uttama means the best of the persons. Okay, Purusha Uttama. Person means he's a person, that's it. is the Supreme Person. So all the liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama, the Supreme Person. That's why Arjuna addresses him as Purushottama. So Arjuna calls Krishna in the shloka as Purushottama. Okay, next, what does Arjuna say? Okay, one may still not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Okay, therefore Arjuna addresses him as Bhuta Bhavana. Okay, so they may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Okay, that is why Krishna is addressing him as Bhuta Bhavana. Okay, so they may not know that Krishna is the father of all living entities. They think that everything is Prakriti. From Prakriti, all the living entities are coming. So they don't understand that Krishna is a seed giving father. He is the one who is giving the seed. He is implanting that seed in the womb of Mother Prakriti. And Prakriti, based on her karma, she gives us the form. Okay. Next, what is Arjuna saying? And okay, and if one comes to know, even if one comes to know that he is the father of all living entities, still what they may not know? They may not know Krishna is the supreme controller. Therefore, he is addressed as Bhutesha. Bhutesha means he is the supreme controller. So they don't think Krishna is the supreme controller. Why? Because they think he's a material man, right? These impersonalists, what do they think? He's just a material person, normal human being. So they can't imagine that Krishna is a supreme controller. Therefore, Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Bhutesha, the supreme controller of everyone. Okay. So if the liberated person, okay, he understands that Krishna, some liberated person may understand that, okay, Krishna is the supreme controller of all living entities. But then Arjuna is saying, maybe he cannot know that he is the origin of all the demigods. Therefore, he is addressed herein as Deva Deva, the worshipful god of all demigods. So now Arjuna is saying, okay, the impersonalist may think that, okay, may understand that Krishna is the supreme controller of all living entities. Oh, but still he must not be knowing that he is the origin of all the demigods. Okay, so he may not think that all the demigods have come from him. So that's why Arjuna is calling him as Deva Deva. Okay, fine. Now he may know that. Okay, even the impersonalist may know that he's a worshipful god of all demigods, but still he doesn't know that he's the supreme proprietor of everything. So therefore, he is addressed as Jagatpati, Lord of the universe. Jagat means world. Pati means he's the father, Lord of the universe. Okay, so he may not know him as the supreme proprietor of everything. Okay, so indirectly Arjuna is trying to praise Krishna, prove Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so there may be some liberated persons like who are practicing Jnana Yoga or other yogas other than Bhakti Yoga, who can go only till localized Paramatma or impersonal Brahman, but they cannot come to the stage. So there may be some people who are liberated or who are on this impersonal Brahman stage or like that, they may accept to a certain extent reading the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is a person. So that's why Arjuna is saying all these things like he is Deva Deva, he is like Bhutesha, and all these Bhuta Bhavana. He's explaining all these terms. Okay. So now let's go to the next 10.15. No, this is over. 10.15 is over, sorry. So 10.16. Vaktum arhasi asheshena दिव्या हि आत्मा विभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां स्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि. So now Arjuna is asking Krishna, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. So now Arjuna understood established Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. By Krishna's mercy, he could understand that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. But now, why is Arjuna asking Krishna to tell about these divine opulences? It is for people like us who don't believe that Krishna is like the supreme personality of Godhead. For some people, they don't accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. We spoke earlier, right? They see Krishna through all the material things in this universe. So there are many opulences in the material world, right? Krishna, through which we can visualize Krishna. So at least when they remember those things of the material world, they are indirectly remembering Krishna. So that is why for all of us, Arjuna is asking Krishna, please, Krishna, tell me all your divine opulences in this material world so that we can meditate indirectly at least on you. Okay, if not directly, we don't accept that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. Like some people, through the sun, moon, they meditate on the sun god, right? Sun is like the eye of Krishna, right? So that is like indirectly worshiping Krishna, right? Like how the impersonalists they worship the effulgence of the Lord, Krishna. Like that, some they worship in the material world, they worship the sun. So it is indirectly worshiping the eye of this Krishna. Okay, like that. So we'll see all what are the different opulences that are there. So let's see what Prabhupada says. Okay, in this verse, it appears that Arjuna is already satisfied with his understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. By Krishna's grace, Arjuna has a personal. So somehow Arjuna understood that by Krishna's mercy, he understood that Krishna is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for him, actually, there is no doubt. But he is asking Krishna to explain his all-pervading nature. All-pervading nature means Krishna is present everywhere and everything in all the material universe, right? So that is why he is asking Krishna to explain where all you are present. Please explain all where all you are present so that we can remember you when we see all when we see you in this material world. Okay, so people in general and the impersonalists in particular concern themselves see mainly with the all-pervading nature of the Supreme. So these impersonalists and common people, they connect more with all the material things. So not everybody is inclined spiritually, right? So Arjuna, for such people, so Arjuna is asking Krishna how he exists in his all-pervading accept through his different energies. Okay, so one should know that Arjuna is asking Krishna on behalf this question on behalf of all the common people. Okay, so at least through the material elements, material opulences that are present in the material world, at least that way, when we see them, we can connect to Krishna. That is why. But Krishna, I mean Arjuna is confirmed for sure. He knows that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But he's indirectly, like he's asking for all of us, like those who don't accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, like for those who are atheists, who are impersonalists, like that. For them, he's asking, and for the common people, like they don't take to spirituality that easily. So for such kind of people, he's asking, where all are you there in the material world? Please let us know, like so that you tell us all your opulences, so that we can meditate indirectly at least on you, so that we can meditate. Okay. So now let's see 17 shloka. Katam vidyam aham yogins tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? How shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so he's asking, so Arjuna is asking, see, how can I constantly think of you? How do I know you? So, what various forms you can be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? Okay, see now. So in the previous chapter, we said that not everybody can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because he's covered by his Yoga Maya. So that's why even Duryodhana, though he saw Krishna, but he didn't understand that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he was covered by Yoga Maya. Okay, so only surrendered souls and devotees can see him, Sri Krishna. So now Arjuna is convinced that his friend Krishna is the supreme Godhead, personality of Godhead. But see what he's doing for all of us, for common people who do not believe that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, but he wants to know the general process by which the all pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. So, common, he wants, he's for the benefit of the common man, he's asking, Krishna, how are you present in this material world? Let me know all your opulences. So common men, including the demons and atheists, so they cannot know Krishna because they are covered by this Yogamaya energy. So again, see, we should understand that these questions are asked by Arjuna for our benefit. Those who don't accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, at least through these material opulences, they can remember Krishna. Okay, the superior, because the superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding but for the understanding of all mankind. See, devotees, they're not selfish always. They just don't want to understand. They want to do bhakti and they only don't want to go back to Godhead. So they're so compassionate. Okay, they think about others also. Oh, I am able to understand, but at least these common people, they're not able to understand. So I should do something so that they anyway somehow come back to Godhead. So that way, even Arjuna was thinking. So, like how Prabhupada, because he's so compassionate at the age of 70, where all at the age of 40, 50 itself, they planned retirement. Now, at the age of 70, he was actually happily living in Vrindavan, doing his devotional service. And he was very happy. What is the need for him to uh, come to America and like uplift all many people like us, ignorant people like us, demons like us? So it is this compassion. They can't see people suffering in this material world. So they want, because he is happy in Krishna consciousness, he wants others also to be happy. He can't see people suffering. That's why Prabhupada, even though at 70 he went to the west and he preached, and he made many devotees there. And seeing the devotees there, many people, when he came to India, many people became devotees and accepted Krishna consciousness. Okay. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he's a Vaishnava, a devotee, is opening for the common man the understanding of the all pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. He addresses Krishna specifically as Yogin because Sri Krishna is the master of the Yogamaya energy. Okay, so that's why, by which he is covered and uncovered to a common man. So the common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. So obvious, right? So therefore he has to think materially because he has no love for Krishna. So he has to think materially. So that's why Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic person of this world. So see how compassionate. So because he cannot understand, the common man cannot understand Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead spiritually. So at least let him think of Krishna materially. So that is why for all of us, Arjuna is asking this question, like Krishna, how can I understand you materially? Okay, please tell me your opulences. How, when I see those, can I remember you materially? Okay, because materialists cannot understand Krishna spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. Okay, so you got the point, right? Why this chapter opulences of the absolute Krishna, Arjuna is asking for us actually, but though it appears that Arjuna is asking for himself, it is for us people. Okay, he's asking because we are all fools. We don't understand. We don't take Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So that's why somehow he wants to uplift us. So that's why he's asking Krishna, like, where in the material world, how to connect with you, Krishna, through your opulences, what all, where all, how all can we remember you? He's asking, okay, on behalf of all of us. But it looks like as if Arjuna is asking for himself, but he's asking for all of us. Okay, 10.18. विस्तारेण आत्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथयः तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति अमृतम्. So, oh Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never saturated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So, okay, so the are so now. If you see that in when Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sukadev Goswami was giving classes, I mean, like preaching to Parikshit Maharaj, what does Parikshit Maharaj say? Guru, I mean, like Guru Maharaj, see, please don't think I'm tired. Because that time he was not, because I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I'm not drinking, I'm not taking rest. Please don't think I'm getting tired. I am really enjoying the nectar of Krishna Katha. So that is my drinking, that is my eating, that is my everything. So please don't think I'm tired and please don't stop the Krishna Katha. So please continue. So for them, for the devotees, that is eating. I mean, like Krishna Katha, the nectar, they are drinking it. Okay, so like that, here Arjuna also is saying, Krishna, see, I'm never tired of listening to all your glories, Krishna. I want to hear more and more. Please tell more, more. He's telling. So here, the rishis of Naimisharanya, headed by Saunaka, tell, I mean, it's not Sita Goswami, it's Suta Goswami. Okay, tell Suta Goswami. One can, what are they telling? The rishis headed by Saunaka, they're telling Suta Goswami. See, one can never be satiated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered into a transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. So, what are the rishis telling? See, those who are in a relationship with Krishna, they are like they are developed that attachment, right? Because they're in that relationship, they're always they want always want to be somehow in touch with Krishna. So that is why they are always they want to hear more and more about the Lord, somehow connected to the Lord, either by doing devotional service to the Lord or hearing about the Lord. So they're so much interested. Okay, so that similarly, Arjuna is also interested in hearing about Krishna, and specifically now here he is interested in listening to his opulences. How in this material world he remains as the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Okay, and it is said, right, it is any statement for the devotees, if it is just concerned to Krishna, it is nectar for them. Any statement, whatever we say about Krishna, is nectar for them. Okay, and now they say that modern stories, fiction, and history, see, all these novels, once if we read, we don't feel like reading them again, right? But these transcendental pastimes of the Lord, how many other times we listen, it's like fresh and we feel like it's we just heard it for the first time. See, every year in the Kartik month, we listen to this Damodar story. How we find it so interesting, right? Every year we listen to that pastime, how Yashoda Maya binds Krishna, how Krishna cries, how his kajal comes all over his face, and how he's crying, he's rubbing his hands to the eyes, and how he's like that he cries, and all this is given in the Damodar Ashtakam. We sing all these. So how we can remember, analyze, remember the Lord, such wonderful prayers. So every year we do, but how we feel a transcendental pleasure. We feel the joy when we hear these pastimes of the Lord. Okay, so they remain ever fresh. It's like as if you're hearing it for the first time. So these pastimes of Krishna, the Makan Chor, and all these the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis, gopas, with his parents. So it's like even though we hear them again and again, we feel like hearing it again and again. It's not like the mundane fiction books and novels and everything, books, magazines, newspapers. No, what do you get? Oh my God. As it is, we are filled with so much distress in this material world. And what is there basically in all these newspapers, TVs, media? They say, oh, this politician shouted on this person, this person slapped this person, and this accident happened, this rape happened. Oh God. already we are in so much distress, so much pain. So it's like when we read all these newspapers and books, it's like we have put already we have 1 ton of distress in our head. It's like we've added another 10 ton on our head. Okay, so that should not be the case. But when we read Krishna Katha, we are so peaceful, we're so happy. That is what is needed. Okay. So it is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with references to the pastimes of the incarnations of Godhead. So we read all these incarnations of Godhead, it's never tiring. Okay, so what are the Puranas? Puranas are what actually happened in the past. They are history, right? Are histories of bygone ages that relate the pastimes of various incarnations that happened in earlier eras. Okay, in this way, the reading matter remains fresh forever despite repeated readings. Okay, so how many ever times we read? It's like for the first time we are reading and we relish it that way. Okay, so they just want to enjoy, relish like that. Okay, this is the same thing. How should Arjuna is asking, how should I meditate on you, and in what various forms are you to be contemplated, said Lord. So in 18, they're saying, tell me detail, Arjuna is telling, tell me again in detail, O Janardana Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I'm never tired of hearing your ambrosial words. Okay, so now this is just a chart form of 17 to 18. Okay, so Arjuna requests to hear more about Krishna's glories. So he asks, see in the orange cloud, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. Why? I'm never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. And now, what are the advantages of hearing Krishna's opulences? Is one is never saturated by hearing about Krishna. So we saw the reference, right? How Saunakadi Rishi tells Sutta Goswami that they're never satisfied. Okay, they want to hear more and more. And what happens by remembering Krishna? One can relish great nectar. We saw, right? Amrita. We can relish that. The more we hear it, it'll be like it's ever fresh. It's like though we are reading again and again every year, it is like we are reading it afresh. I mean, like it's that fresh. So we relish that. It's we feel that bliss and happiness. Okay. So and hearing when hearing increases, the more you hear, the more you remember Krishna. Right, what you hear, see if you in the TV, if you are addicted to hearing news, oh every day you hear only news. So only those that news content you remember that only. So but if you remember Krishna's opulences, then you will remember those only. Whatever you think of Krishna, that only you will remember. If you remember Krishna, you remember Krishna by chanting, by reading, by hearing, by seva, whatever. Okay, so always when you hear, you always think of Krishna. Okay, so what happens when you think of Krishna? I mean, like you get that great nectar, that happiness. Okay, so that is what is considered. Same thing repeated, 16 to 18. So actually, we know that in the 16th sloka, Arjuna already knows that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he has no doubt about Krishna's position. But what are Arjuna's reason? Why is he asking for Krishna to show the opulences of Krishna in this material world? Why? For the sake of common people is one reason, and second, he is telling for the sake of a materialist. Those are materialistic people. They connect to the material elements, right? Whatever is there in the material nature for them. And Arjuna is asking for himself, for personal absorption. Arjuna wants to know, how shall I constantly think of you? Okay, and fourth is to taste the nectar. He wants to hear more, because devotees are never saturated. They are like they want more. They want to hear more and more about Krishna. And in particular, Arjuna wanted to hear about the pervading opulences in this material world. Okay. So 10.19, let's see what Krishna describes some of his opulences. 10.19 to 10.42. So Krishna describes the most prominent among his limitless, all-pervading opulences. So some main opulences Krishna describes because he has limitless opulences. So main he gives. So names his opulences and then explains that these opulences simply indicate a fraction of his glory. Okay, so he says that he names some And he says that these are like few, just a fraction, minute of my opulences. Because he pervades and supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his total potency. Okay, so that the whole total manifestation is just maintained by his by Mahavishnu, who is just a fragment, a small part of his energy. He's the Purusha Avatara, right? Okay, so with that, just that Purusha Avatara, he is like maintaining the whole material world. Okay, he pervades and supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his total potency. So we'll see that also. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Hatanta te katishyami divyahi atma vibhutayaha pradhanayanta kuru shreshta nasti anto vistarasya me. So now the blessed Lord said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Now, okay, now Arjuna asks, please show me all your pervading opulences in this material world. Now Krishna is saying, okay, Arjuna, I will show you all my the great manifestations, the beautiful, I mean, like splendorous manifestations. But I will show you the more important, because there's so many limitless opulences. I will show you some major prominent ones I will show, he says. Okay, so let's see what are they. 10.20. Aham atma gudakesha sarvabhutasya stitah aham adisya madhyam cha bhutanam anta eva cha. So translation. See, I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So now Krishna is trying to tell about his opulences. Okay. So he's starting, he's saying that I am Mahavishnu. He's one of the Purusha avatars. Okay. What is the first Purusha avatara? Mahavishnu. Right. So, yeah, yesterday I wanted to tell you, right? I wanted to tell you like the expansions of Krishna, right? So I'll just tell you that part 1 second. I'll show it to you. Yeah. So you can see right now. So from Krishna, the first expansion is Balaram. Okay. From Balaram, the next expansions are the first Chaturvyuha. So what are they for? First Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha. And from this Sankarshana comes Narayana. Okay, and from Narayana, again the second Chaturvyuha comes. Second Chaturvyuha is again same Vasudeva, second Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha. And from this Sankarshana, Mahavishnu or Garbhodaka, then Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Pradyumna. And then Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Aniruddha. Okay, so this is how the expansions take place and come to the material world. Okay, so you saw this the way they expand, right? So this so much process is there for them to come till Mahavishnu, who enters the Mahat Tattva, and then he is sleeping there, and from him all the universes come out, Mahavishnu. Okay, so Mahavishnu is like the soul of the universe. Like, see, for our body, if the soul is not there, our body is like considered dead, right? See, the soul is the thing that is letting this body run, right? Like that, for the entire cosmic manifestation to run, Mahavishnu is the super soul. Okay, like how for this body, soul and super soul are needed to run this body. Like that, to run the entire cosmic manifestation, like that, Mahavishnu is the super soul. So he's saying that one of his opulences, like in the material universes, he comes as Mahavishnu. He comes as the super soul of the universe. So that is what he's trying to say. Okay. Now let's go to 21. Now, Adityanam Aham Vishnur Jyotisham. So now Krishna, one by one, he's telling all his opulences, the main opulences. Adityanam Aham Vishnur Jyotisham Ravir Amshuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatra Aham Shashi. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. So he's telling how the common people or impersonalists, atheists can remember Krishna in the material world. Okay. So of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. Okay. So there are 12 Adityas, right? So among those 12 Adityas, he's telling the main is I am Vishnu. And of lights, he's saying I am the sun. So the sun is the eye of Krishna, right? And of the Maruts, there are actually 50 kinds of wind. So of that, he's saying I am Marichi. And among stars, I am the moon. So here the Prabhupada says particularly that the moon is not a planet. Here they're saying moon is also star. See, among the stars, I am the moon. Okay, so we and the moon gets its effulgence from the sun. We all know that, right? It gets the light from the sun. So among such stars, Krishna is the moon. That's what they're saying. Okay. 10.22. So all these, I think we can actually you can read actually the different opulences. See, Vedanam Sama Vedo Asmi, Devanam Asmi Vasavaha, Indriyanam Manasa Chasmi, Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Of the Vedas, Krishna is saying, I am Sama Veda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force. So in living beings, he is the soul, consciousness. Okay. So of the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am Agni. I am fire, Agni. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Okay, of priests, he is Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Of horses, know me to be Uchchaishrava, produced from the. See, this horse has come when the demons and goddess, the devatas were churning the ocean. So then this horse comes out, okay? So that is the horse. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am Surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Okay, of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod of Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Among the Daityas, demons, I am devoted Prahlada. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, also the middle, O Arjuna. Okay, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. And see, self means soul, because in the material world we have no concept of soul at all. Wherever you go, it's only pertaining to the body, how the bodily needs can be fulfilled. Okay, how we can earn money, how we can live comfortably, that's it. So Krishna is saying, I am the spiritual science, a soul. Science of the self is soul. And among logicians, I am conclusive truth. Of letters, I am the letter A. And among compound words, I am the dual compound. And I'm also inexhaustible time. And of creators, I am Brahma. I am all devouring death, and I'm the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Okay, so I like this all there. See, of the hymns in the Sama Veda, I am Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am Gayatri. Of months, I am Margasirsha, November to December. And of seasons, I am flower bearing spring. I am also the gambling of chiefs, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am strength of the strong. Okay, so like this, all are given. See here, the list is given. Okay, of Om, the vibrations I am Om, chanting of the sacrifices, chanting of the holy name, Himalayas, immovable things, trees, holy fig, sages of demigods, Narada, singers, Chitrarata, like perfected beings, Siddhas, Kapila, horses, Visa, Uchai elephants, Airavata. So all this, okay. So why does we say Krishna has compared himself to Samaveda, right? So why does Krishna compare himself to Samaveda? The mantras of the Samaveda are chanted musically, so that especially pleasing to the gods more than the mantras of the other Vedas, which is why Krishna compares himself to the Samaveda. Sama denotes that which brings equipoise or tranquility to the mind. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is Brihat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. The leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, so that is why that Samaveda is special, okay? And the leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master treasurer of the demigods, and he is a representation of the Supreme Lord. Why is it not starting? Okay. So Meru is the mountain and famed for rich natural resources. So of mountains, Krishna is saying, "I'm Meru mountain." So Indra is the chief demigod of the heavenly planets and is known as the king of heavens. So Himalayas are the great mountains. So all this is given same like that. The banyan tree is one of the highest and most beautiful trees, and people in India often worship it as one of their daily morning rituals. So among the demigods, Narada is the greatest devotee in the universe. Thus, he is the representative of Krishna as a devotee. The Gandharva planet is filled with entities who sing beautifully, and among them, the best singer is Chitraratha. So all these are given again. Here, see, it's summarized here. Among among men, I'm monarch. Among weapons, I'm Vajra. Among cows, I'm Surabhi. I'm among the procreators, I'm Gandharpa. Of snakes, I'm Ananta. Of aquatic deities, I'm Varuna. So all this is given here. Okay, all the opulences. See, of fishes, I'm shark. Animals, all the animals are given. Law and crime are given. So everything is categorized. So when I please give the PPT, you can please go through all these. Okay, and 10.39. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. So Krishna, he says that he enters, right? Krishna, he enters into every atom, whether it is moving or non-moving. Okay, so he is the seed of existence. So there is nothing like everywhere you can see Krishna. See, Krishna is saying, I'm the generating seed of all existence. So there is no being, whether it is moving or unmoving. See, for example, tree. So even though it is unmoving, it cannot exist without Krishna because it too has a soul and everything, right? So it is also existing. So 1 second. See, everything has a cause. Purport, what does Prabhupada says? Everything has a cause. And that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. See, without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he's called omnipotent. So he's present everywhere. So without his potency, neither the movable nor the immovable can exist. So whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. Okay, so everything in this world is a what is the energy of Krishna. Okay, he is the one who gives the seed. Okay. Okay, next 10.40. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I've spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. So now finally Krishna concludes to telling Arjuna that see, these are just a few of my main a fraction, a very small portion of my my opulences. Okay, otherwise there's so many limitless, I cannot, infinite, that I cannot explain. Okay, so just a few fraction I have just given to you. Okay, 10.41. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimad urjitam eva va tad eva vagachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Okay, so now let's see 10.41. See, anything glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be but a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence, whether it be in the spiritual or material world. So, anything extraordinary opulence should be considered to represent Krishna's opulence. It's like, say, see, suppose you see any intelligent person, you should think that, oh, this is the intelligence comes from Krishna is the most intelligent. So now we can remember Krishna, oh, this person is intelligent, oh, because Krishna has blessed him with the intelligence. Oh, if you see some beautiful rose, oh, it's so beautiful. So now Krishna, if we remember Krishna, oh, Krishna is so beautiful. So we compare everything, we see everything that is so beautiful. If somebody is so wealthy, oh, this person is wealthy. Oh, Krishna is, we remember Krishna, he is the most wealthiest of all. Okay, so we just remember immediately. If we see someone who's full of knowledge, a scholar who's full of knowledge, oh, Krishna is the ultimate knowledge. He is like Satchidananda. He's full of knowledge. Okay, so anything beautiful, anything we see special in this world, material world, if he's strong, more strong, then we remember Krishna. Oh, Krishna is also strong. I mean, like he lifted the Govardhan mountain. So we try to remember him through his opulences in this form also. Okay, like that. And the Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by his entering into all things as a super soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as super soul. Right? We understood, right? Because Krishna enters as super soul in the universe whole cosmic manifestation is running. How is the sun coming? How are the planets rotating in their orbits? Okay, and how is the sun rising at a particular time every day? How is the moon rising at a particular day? And why, when we plant a particular seed, only that particular plant comes? So, who is doing all this? How only every 4 months we get a particular season? Okay, so all this is done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He comes as Krishna comes as Super Soul, Mahavishnu. So he comes as Super Soul and he does all these. Okay, so this material cosmic manifestation is not is totally dependent on Krishna. Okay, and Mahavishnu as super soul. Okay, so from Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing. See, because the Lord has entered each and all is sustaining them. So, because along with the soul, there is a Paramatma in all of us who is maintaining us. Okay, because of which we are able to survive. Okay, so there is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead to the supreme personality of Godhead or the supreme soul, supreme goal. But worship of the demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. So here we should not think the Prabhupada is saying that any god, any demigod that we worship, we will go back to Supreme Personality of God. I mean, like we will go back to, it's like we are worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not think like that. Okay, that is the wrong misconception. Even here, what Prabhupada is saying in his purport, demigods like Brahma and Shiva are also part of the opulence of Krishna. Okay, Krishna is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than him. He is Asamurdhva, means what? Nobody is superior to him, and even not even, forget about above, nobody is equal to him also. So in the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once an atheist. Okay? So even Lord Brahma and Shiva are not equal to Krishna. We should not think like that. In fact, Shiva is one of the greatest devotees of Krishna. Okay, he serves Krishna and Radharani and Krishna. Okay, if however one thoroughly studies, so actually Shiva, he wrote the Radha Kripa Kataksha Stava. He worships Lord Radharani. Wonderful prayers. One should at least read it once. Radha Kripa Kataksha Stava, written by Lord Shiva. Okay, so we should. So even Lord Shiva himself is a great devotee of Radha Krishna. Okay. So, if, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and fix his mind on the worship of Krishna without deviation. Okay. So, text 42, Krishna supports and pervades the entire universe with a mere fragment of himself. So, that is what we understood, right? A mere fragment means he comes as Mahavishnu and he enters, he's a super soul and he supervises the entire universe. Okay, so that's what they're saying. So now we have concluded the chapter. This is the conclusion. Okay, so we finished. So